What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and this time I'm reviewing X-Men Mutant Apocalypse for the Super Nintendo, and it's made by Capcom, and the plot involves Charles Xavier finding out that some mutants have been kidnapped and captured and sent to a prison in a specific island. And he sends out 5 of the X-Men to go rescue him from Apocalypse. And after he must defeat Apocalypse, he pretty much finds out that Magneto plans to blow up this particular island from his space station called the Avalon. So he pretty much sends him out to go and defeat Magneto and stop him from blowing up the island. And the X-Men that Charles Xavier sends out are Psylocke, Beast, Cyclops, Wolverine, and Gambit. Now, one thing about it is that when you start the game, you can pick one of those 5 to like start the game. And one thing you will notice after you pick one of them is that each of them have their own stage. You know, in fact, the game has 16 stages overall. 10 of them consist of stages that's specifically for Gambit, Psylocke, Wolverine, Beast, and Cyclops. Then it includes 5 boss battles in a island stage. You know, and once you complete the 10 stages, the 10 specific stages for the 5 X-Men island in the first 4 bosses, I would say I'm thinking like the 3 bosses that's on the island. Then Charles Xavier would take you to the danger room to take on a computer image version of two of the bosses, which one of them I know is Juggernaut. And after you complete those missions and defeat those 2 bosses in the danger room, then you're headed to the space station Avalon to take on Magneto. And one thing about facing Magneto, whether or not he gives you trouble or not is based on which X-Men that you choose. Now, he will mop up pretty much Beast, Cyclops, and Gambit, and that leaves you with Wolverine and Cyclops. Now, them 2 are the only ones that actually can beat Magneto. Now, naturally, the strategy that you use against Magneto, it will have some differences based on the fact that Cyclops and Wolverine have their own moves and powers and everything. Now, I didn't mention this before. Like, all 5 X-Men have their own set of moves besides the powers that they use. Of course, like Beast is the more athletic out the bunch. Cyclops uses eye beams. Wolverine got his claws, of course. Gambit got his heat thing where he transforms into cars and form. Cyclops does the telekinetic thing. And like I said, besides their powers, they got their own set of fighting moves. Now, with the graphics and level design, they are pretty good, especially with like the different color palettes and the fact that all of them have their own, all five of them got their own separate stages and everything. And I do like the gameplay is probably like the best part of X-Men Mutant Apocalypse because they're all, like I said, they got their own set of fight rules outside of their own individual powers. Now the soundtrack is good too, and it definitely fits the game. So I would say it's kind of like my least favorite part of the game, but it's still good. And and I'll be honest about this. What I'm about to say is that X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is pretty much the best X-Men game that I played on a home console. It's definitely better than X-Men and Wolverine for the NES, and everybody knows that those two games are major turd fests. And it goes to show that if you give the rights of X-Men and give them to the right video game company, you can have yourself a good X-Men video game. In fact, I'll be honest enough to say that the rights to make a X-Men video game on the NES, specifically X-Men and Wolverine, should have been given to Capcom instead of LJN, mainly because Capcom was given the rights to make Disney games on the NES, and all of them are pretty good. Now, if you have a Super Nintendo, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is a game that you should have in your library if you don't own it already. If you don't own it already. Now, the only gripe that I see that's in the game that I see is the fact that the game is on the short side when especially if you compare the games like Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda's Link to the Past, but it's not that big of a deal if you actually sit down and play it. As far as the score, I would definitely give it an 8. Now, with that being said, if you like this particular game, you can pretty much mention it in the comment section. If you like the review of my review of X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, you can click the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.